Welcome to SKaL, Sports, Knowledge, and Life. Let's learn, let's apply, and let's scale up. Hey, welcome to SKaL. SKaL is a new community for student athletes. And today is our first episode, and I have a special guest that came on today, my younger brother, Flex. Welcome to SKaL, bro.
What's good? What's good, bro? Congrats on the startup. Wishing you
Hey,
well.
appreciate it. Just trying to give back. SKaL is really for the athletes, those who are up and coming. So it's pretty much, SKaL is pretty much, for athletes by athletes, you know what I'm saying? So in my first video, I was kind of telling the people that, if SKaL was around when I was a young teenager, that I would have made a lot of different choices, like
Yeah.
out of middle school, going into high school, and while I was in high school, going to college. I mean, my journey. Like I played at
Yeah.
4 different schools, and
Yeah.
it was because of some decisions that I made, and not that I was struggling academically, because I did finish in 4 years.
Right.
I didn't have another semester, another year. I did 4 years, and I graduated in 4 years. But it was just, basketball kind of took me from school to school to school. So basketball was definitely my sport, man. So let's kind of get a little bit about you. You know what I'm saying? Hear from you a little bit more. So
All
I know
right.
I played basketball, so kind of share a little bit about you, and to the people what sport you play, and just a little bit that you want to share, and then we'll kind of get right into it.
All right. Yeah. So growing up, basketball and football was main sports for us, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, that was pretty much it. We didn't really, if we did baseball or soccer or something like that, it was for fun just because, people was playing, or, Aunt came around like, oh, y'all play soccer real quick, you know what I'm saying? Here's some, money for y'all to basically try to win or something like that. But, for us, it was pretty much basketball, football. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, definitely. So basketball, football. So for me, let me ask you, like, where did you get the love or passion for sports? Because I really know how passionate you are about sports. I know you still play more than I play right now. But yeah, just try to talk about a little bit about your passion and where it came from.
I think just being, what I'm saying, growing up with you and, our cousin in the house, and then our younger brother as well, four boys in the house, competition is going to be there, you know what I'm saying? And then where our ages was like 2 years apart for each of us, and I was 3 out of 4, but it's like, I'm still trying to compete, you know what I'm saying? Cause at the same time, I wasn't too far off in size from y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I was, always just trying to compete and trying to keep up with y'all, even though I was, a little bit younger. But yeah, it's just, competition just, it's kind of just in us, you know what I'm saying? Like just to try to be better than the next person, or as good, or you don't want to be left behind. So you just want to compete and work to be the best that you can. So it's really just
Right.
naturally born competitiveness.
Right.
Yeah,
Definitely, man. We, definitely was going at it. You know what I'm saying? 4 boys in the house.
exactly.
And I was the
Exactly.
oldest, so I was the ringleader, but
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right. All right, cool. So when would you say you first became a student athlete? Because people throw out that term, oh, student athlete. Like, when would you say you're like, man, like I'm really a student athlete? When
I
can
would
you
say
recall?
I would say in middle school because elementary school we played pee wee football and stuff like that. I don't even think we did YMCA at that time basketball, but I definitely want to say middle school because the school I went to for middle school, I went to a private school, and the academics was intense. You feel me? So at the same time, my first year I was still doing outside sports, and then my 7th to 8th grade year I was playing for the school where it was trying to balance that plus balance schoolwork. You know what I mean? So that's where I really
Right.
felt like a student athlete, where it's like I'm a student. You know what I'm saying? Teacher don't care nothing about your extracurricular activities, but you gotta still get your grades, up to par and get your work done. So I'll say middle school.
Okay, cool. And you actually brought up a good point that I kind of want to dive into, if it's not too early for you. But you mentioned that you went to a private school for middle school. So I just want to kind of get your take or your kind of perspective playing at a private school versus where most student athletes play at private school. I mean, just saying that because there are more public schools than there are private schools. So just kind of give us your take and kind of like walk us through your journey going through the private school route, and then kind of tell us a little bit more if you stayed at that school, or did you, transfer to a different school?
Yeah. So I would say, the experience was definitely a good experience. You know what I mean? Overall, going to the private school and playing sports there, Nike jerseys was practice jerseys. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of court space. The courts was flat and even, nice glass backboards, everything, leather balls. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was on point, because the funds were there. You had a private school, the money is there, but you see and you notice, different things like, I'm saying, I was like the only black kid there, the only black kid on the team, you know what I mean? So you just start to see sort of, I was flat out say favoritism, where it's like everyone kind of knew I was the best player on the team, but when it came to like award ceremonies, white kid gets the trophy, you know what I mean? And it was just kind of, obvious. It's like, all right, whatever, you know what I mean? But, as far as the experience playing there versus playing like at a public school, I can't speak to the public schools part for like for middle school. I have no idea what that would be like. But when I compare it to my high school experience, because I did end up leaving and going to a public high school, like I said, it's just the resources are different. We had a nice, like two nice gyms. Like I said, the basketball is fully pumped, nice leather balls. Even the outdoor courts, bro, I'm talking about glass backboards. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, at Tech where the little thin, little thin backboards. You know what I'm saying? There's no net on the rims. You know what I'm saying? So the resources is probably the biggest thing, the biggest difference that you're seeing playing in private versus a public school, and also the schools you're going to play against, you know what I mean? Because there's only a small number of private schools per city. So we would have to go to Orlando, go to Oldsmar, you know what I'm saying? Drive an hour away just to, to play a game. And this is middle school, you know what I'm saying? So it was, you definitely seen the resources allocated to those, those sporting activities and things like that, whether it's basketball, football, like same thing. All the gear was nice, practice field nice, stadium nice, grass is cut, everything, you know what I'm saying? So definitely the resources was a big thing, middle school versus public, private school versus public.
Okay, cool. So you kind of touched on it so it sounded like you played football and basketball while you're at the private school. Did you play any other sports, or were those the only two that you kind of focused on while you were at this private school for middle school?
Just football and basketball.
Okay, just those two sports. Okay. Okay. And did you play football for your 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and basketball for all three, or did you?
Nah. So 6th grade, we were still playing kind of Pee Wee league, Pee Wee Pop Warner type football league. So they wanted me to play, but I was like, I'm already playing in this other league or whatever. So when that ended, you know what I'm saying, where it was like you had to pay for Pee Wee and stuff like that, you're already at the school, it's basically free to play. So I just started playing for them 7th to 8th grade year. I think the same with basketball. Basketball I might have played 6th, 7th, and 8th because I was already kind of there, acclimated to the school. So I just jumped on their 6th, 7th, to 8th grade basketball team, and then finished football for 7th to 8th grade.
All right, cool. So let me ask you this: do you feel like you mentioned that you were the best on the squad? So like, do you feel like you dominated? Like it was like easy to you, or did you really have to like put in effort to shine amongst those? Because I know for me growing up, when I go to the park and I play basketball, sometimes I kind of play to my level of my competition, which I don't advise. I always say, hey, keep your game high no matter who you're playing. You're playing against elementary kids, school kids, they can get it too. So just asking you because, on football and basketball level, you're probably the best player on the field or on the court. Did you feel like you just dominated, or was this easy for you, or did you still kept your game at that high level?
I feel like I did dominate, and that's what I was saying. Like when it came to like the award ceremony, it's like, well, if I'm the one, getting, buckets and making the defensive stops and, getting all these rushing yards and stuff like that, like, why when it comes to the award ceremony, y'all giving it to this guy? You know what I mean? Like, so I do feel like I don't think I played down to my level of competition because it wasn't just straight scrubs out there. There were some dudes that could, they could hoop. Some boys could shoot out there. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just a bunch of scrubs out there. But I do feel like I was the premier talent, and they recognized that, and they kind of may have set it up to where they would utilize my talent, but they would kind of let somebody else get a little bit more to shine. Whereas like you run, you carry us down to the goal line, and then we're gonna get this man a touchdown. Or you pressure the defense to get the steal, and then we're gonna set the offense up for this guy to get the shot. You know what I mean? Like just different stuff like that. But as far as dominating, I feel like I was the top talent out there. You know what I'm saying? As far as my grade, you know what I'm saying? The people above me, of course, were probably a little bit better. They was a little bit older. When you're that young, you can see the difference in age. But I think I was, top talent out there.
Top 10. Okay. Now, I know we talked all about your athletics. What was your approach, being, because I know private school, like you said, teachers don't really care about your athletics. They're like, listen, you came to the private school for academics, you can play sports, whatever, but we know when you leave here, you're going to be academically sound. So, like, how was your academic, challenges or journey at this private school? And did you take your academics as serious as you took your sports, football and basketball?
Yeah, definitely took the academics as seriously because I was on academic scholarship to the school. So keeping my grades up was part of the deal. You're a smart kid. We want you to be able to benefit from this, great institution. And the return, your end of the bargain is, make sure you keep your grades up. So definitely took the academics, very seriously.
Let me ask you this. So you talk about your academics, and did you feel like, because keeping that level, if you're on scholarship, you really have to keep it at a certain level. Do you feel like, did you have any pressure as far as your academics go? Because, okay, I'm on scholarship, I have to keep at a certain level to keep my scholarship. And then also in the same breath on the athletic level, did you have pressures coming from both sides? And if you did, how did you handle it or deal with it?
Not really. I mean, as far as academic pressure, not really pressure. It's just, our household growing up, academics was always big. So it wasn't no bringing bad grades home, nothing like that. Academics was a big thing off the rip. So the pressure probably came from home, whether it came from the school or from teachers or counselors or anything like that. It was just, get the work done, find a way to pass, find a way to get good grades, find time to study. And then just like you said, me just being a competitive person, it's like, I want to have the top grades in class because like I said, so going back, I started at a public school, elementary school, where I was, straight A's, maybe 1 or 2 B's. So then I get to this private school for middle school and it's, a C here and there, on a test or something like that. But it's just like the competitiveness in me would try to still make sure, okay, let me get this A, let me study a little bit harder. Like this dude got it. Nah, I'm finna outdo him. So, just that level of competition would push me to make sure that my grades are on point. And as far as the sports, I didn't really feel no pressure to, I'm the only Black kid. I got to outperform this person or that person. You know what I mean? Like I just was out there having fun. Like when you're that young, you just out there having fun playing sports. If anything, I would say because one of my homeboys, he played football with me and he was all right, but he wasn't no superstar. But he was like Monday through Friday during school hours. That was my dog. You know what I'm saying? We hung out, we did this, we did that. So he played football, but he wasn't like a star of the team. He was just kind of like a role player. And I think that maybe kind of distracted me because it's like, well, I'm supposed to be, I'm one of the top players, but I'm messing around with him in practice, cracking jokes and pouring water on people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there was probably a little bit of distraction there, but as far as like pressure to perform, now I ain't feeling like extra pressure to perform or nothing like that. Like I just wanted to ball, like I'm saying, competition. Like I just wanted to ball out just cause. Yeah.
Right. Now, can you talk about, so you said you were on scholarship, what I'm saying? You, my brother, so I already know we didn't have the type of funds to send none of us to a private school. So like, were there any like disparities that you saw or things that kind of made you uncomfortable because of some of your friends, they're there because mom and dad paid tuition? Because I know middle school, high school, elementary school, at private school, it's like tuition for one of us going to college, So like, were there anything that made you feel any kind of way because, our family income wasn't as big as, other people's family income?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, it's a private school. This is a very expensive school in Tampa, Florida. So you definitely feel the pressure of being a scholarship kid. It was 2 things: being a scholarship kid, 1, and for 2, nobody was really supposed to know about it. You know what I mean? So it's like if other people knew, it's like okay, he's here because of X, Y, and Z. But when it's like when I'm around my friends, it's like I gotta not tell them that I'm rich or pretend like I'm rich, but it's just kind of like, I can't be like, yo, I'm on scholarship, I don't have the money for this, X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Like I said, like my homeboy that I was super cool with, when his sister turned 18, she got a Beamer. His other sister turned 16, she got a Benz. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and moms was dropping me off in the Toyota Caravan, minivan, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, And you can kind of get by off of that. You know what I'm saying? You got a big family minivan. There was plenty of minivans pulling up, you know what I'm saying? So you can kind of get by off of that. But it's like when it comes to your turn, you get to high school, you start driving, what you pulling up in? What kind of car are you going to get for your birthday? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So the pressure of the scholarship wasn't really keeping the grades there. It was just the fact of like the financial aspect of it. Like they got money, I don't, but at the same time, they can't know about it. So it's like, I feel like I can't really be myself. You know what I mean? Not to say that I was lying about stuff, but it's just like I have to make up silly excuses for, you know what I'm saying, just for whatever, you know what I mean? Or you know, you just kind of hope all your friends are gone before they see you walk to the car, you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Right.
It's yeah, it was definitely challenging. You know, it kind of messed with your head a little bit. Like, not to say that like I was, you know, felt any type of way about my parents or, you know, my home situation. It was just like when I'm at school, it's like I gotta be like this. And then when I'm in my regular life, I'm completely different. You know what I mean? Right.
Understandable. So yeah, so let's kind of talk about your choices. Because like when I hear you, like you went to a private school because of your education, like you tested in, got high score. They're like, man, we want this kid at our school, gave you a scholarship. And when I think private school, when I think of athletics, I think of like LeBron and T-Mac and, you know what I'm saying, Tracy McGrady, or that's T-Mac. But like those athletes who went to private school to ball, like there was no secret. They came there to take that, you know, team to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So just look at it from that perspective. You know, you went for education. Others that I'm thinking of went for athletics. And I don't know if you knew that when you were at the middle school, but you did transfer from that private school and you could have stayed to go to the high school level, but you decided to take your talents to the, you know, public school. So if you kind of talk us through your mindset. I think you may have already kind of brushed on it a little bit, but if you could just kind of flush it out.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, like my scholarship was kind of like a secret, because it's like everybody wasn't filthy rich. Some parents were doctors, some parents were surgeons, some parents were nurses, but they stacked their bread and was able to pay for their kid to go to college. Yeah. So, you know, I was on, like I said, 100% full ride. Like we had to pay for uniforms, and I think, I don't even know if books were covered or not, but uniforms and stuff like that. But, and lunch, I think we had to pay for, but everything else was covered. I'm talking about middle school with laptops, and this is in the early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, my mindset was just like, I can't, like, I feel like I'm getting older, you know what I mean? 6th, 7th, 8th grade, you're getting older, you're, you know, looking at girls and you're thinking about your car and you're thinking about sports and different things like that. And it's like, I felt like I couldn't be myself because of this whole secret. They can't know that you're on scholarship. Like I said, other parents who are paying but are struggling to pay might feel some type of way. And then even some of the rich parents who are paying might feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I got, you know, I got 3 kids here, I'm paying, you know, all this money, at least let me get one, you know what I mean? So it was just kind of, it just didn't sit right with me. It felt awkward. Like I felt like I couldn't be myself. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, the financial part, the being the only Black kid part, was another thing. You just couldn't really be yourself. So
it was a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely could have stayed, you know, had, you know, parents and family and friends and cousins try to talk me out of leaving and stuff like that. And my mindset wasn't like, I didn't, you know, we wasn't following college sports like that. We would watch, you know, NBA and, you know, a little bit of college and, you know, find your favorite player or whatever. But it wasn't like, oh, this guy's the top player in the country and he's at a private school, let me stay, or nothing like that.
Right.
That wasn't my mindset. Had it been that, and maybe it was going to turn into that, because I remember when I was in like 8th grade, our like 7th or 8th grade coach, he got promoted to be the high school coach for football. And I remember one day he brought me down to the gym and was like, we're thinking about moving. Like, I'm in 8th grade. They wanted to move me up to the either high school JV or varsity team or something like that. He was like, pick whatever jersey number you want, play receiver and blah, 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 and all the stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe it was leading to, okay, like maybe if I would express it to them, like, we can't afford this, XYZ, like, I feel uncomfortable because it has to be this big secret and whatever. Like, maybe they say, all right, well, we'll put you on a athletic scholarship. Because I do remember him bringing me down there, talking to me about sports, wanting to move me up and stuff like that. And, you know what I'm saying? So he was kind of telling me, like, we want you to be the guy for football. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was just a lot of things that just, you know, just thinking about it, you I mean, it was just weird. I couldn't be myself. Was the biggest thing. Like I felt like I couldn't be myself. Was the biggest thing that led me to want to leave.
Yeah, that's definitely tough, man. Like I remember going to some of your games, man. I remember me and mom come to the game, watch play basketball, and man, plus was kind of like me killing these boys. I mean, getting bucket football. You know what I'm saying? You used to run through the whole. I mean, the whole team tried to drag you down. Huh?
But did I look happy on the field?
You didn't. I could tell by your demeanor that, especially football. Football, you're at helmet on. I could tell by you're in the huddle, like, all right, ball to me again. You go get the ball, get it, and I'm like, and I'm like, yeah, you're not even trying. If you just tried, you were killing just going through the motion. I mean, that's you didn't try. I mean, let me not say that, but I feel like you could have went more and would have been literally stopped. But I didn't know about the coach bringing you up, talking to you about, hey, being the man. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, at the school would have allowed you to be more open about, hey, or switch it, like, okay, or maybe do partial, like some education, scholarships, so I can say, hey, I'm on scholarship to play ball.
I just felt like I couldn't be myself. Like I said, the financials of, and getting into that age where it's like, okay, now we're about to be in high school, we're about to start driving. Okay, what kind of car you finna pull up in?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Probably start, hanging out at people's house a little bit more. Like what it's gonna look like when they pull up to our crib, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
right.
Mad people there, you know what I'm saying? It's like, the house was deep, like growing up with, 5 siblings, grandma, cousin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just different. Like I went to some of their houses for some functions, like sleepovers or pool party, whatever. But like, damn, ain't nobody pull up to our spot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, cool. So then let's just talk about your transition from that school, from the private school to the high school. So you did come to the high school that I was at, Tampa Bay Tech. So I think I was a junior when you were a freshman, right? Yeah, because we were there for 2 years. Yeah. So how was that? Like, just like, coming to from a private school uniform to a high school, is like, bro, wear what you want, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, and that was a big part of it. I'm glad you brought that up, the uniforms, because it's like in private school, uniforms, polos, khakis, Fridays, blazer with a shirt and tie. Like, bro, I remember that. I didn't know how to tie a tie, you know what I'm saying? Didn't know how to tie a tie, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? Pops was, I mean, I eventually learned, but it's just like Pops would help me. But then it's like, if Pops is gone for work, like, I gotta keep the tie in point until the next week. And then like week after week taking it on and on, I gotta try to take it off gently so it don't get messed up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and then I remember one day, like I had to go in there, like it was untied. I had to go to one of the dudes in the office, like, yo, let me tie this thing, bro. Like I don't know how to tie no tie. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like things like that. So so going from private school to public school, I mean, it's just like a whole different ballgame. Like even before I got there, I remember going to one. You had like a summer game, or so I was either 7th or 8th grade. You was in maybe 9th or 10th, and going to one of your games, and it was just like the vibe is just different. Like everything was just different. Like Black people everywhere, Spanish people, like it was just different. You know what I'm saying? I remember going to one of your basketball games. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, this is what makes me comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing my people, like I was in there, jeans, you know what I'm saying? This is when the do-rags was hot, do-rag, headband, everything, you know what I'm saying? Like if I wore that there, they'd be like, get this man arrested or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like going to your game made me feel comfortable. Like this is what, like the same way I am at this game is the same way I'm at home. But when I went to the private school, the way I was at home was not the way I was at school. I was different, you know what I'm saying? So it made me comfortable. So going in, wasn't really nervous or anything like that, nothing crazy like that. I think I was just kind of, you know what I'm saying, you big bro, following your footsteps, you know what I'm saying? You was out there playing ball, and I was like, you know what I'm saying, I'm just here to play ball and go to school, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be in a different environment, an environment where I could be myself. So it wasn't nothing like really crazy that I was like thinking about going into it. It's just, I just wanted to be comfortable, so.
All right, cool. So you did come in, you know what I'm saying, you went to the health program, so it wasn't like you went into, some random, focus. So you did go into the health program, and just want to ask, as far as like, was school at the public level, was it challenging to you, or did you kind of feel like I can do this in my sleep? Like, like you don't put as much effort because you can get a B by just showing up, but you can get an A if you put in this a little bit of effort.
It was a breeze because of the work that I went through at the private school. Like it was a prep school, you know what I'm saying? It's a private preparatory school that prepping you for college. So like when I was in middle school, we was taking exams, like all day exams, like going to the gymnasium, everybody spread out, you taking exams, not midterm. We had like not midterm, but like
9
fall,
weeks or something.
winter. Yeah, like winter, like each semester. So like December, before we go on break, we take exams, and before the school get out, we take exams. You know what I'm saying? And they would mail our, give you a report, grades in the mail and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it definitely prepped me for being ready for exams, kind of being able to not self-teach yourself, but like self-study, where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Had I not been there, you might be like, oh, the teacher, whatever I learned in school is what I learned, but nah, you got to go home and then put in more work. So the public school education, it was easy because of what I went through at the private school.
And so coming to tech, to the public school, playing sport, because did you play football or did you just play basketball when you came to high school?
Nah, so when I got to tech, I, like I said, kind of looking up the big bro, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, let me focus on basketball. I'm trying to make varsity my freshman year or whatever. And I was like, I'm not gonna worry about football. I'm just gonna play basketball. So went out for basketball, didn't make varsity, you know what I'm saying? Played the freshman year, JV team, whatever. Afterwards got kind of moved up or whatever, where I kept practicing with y'all. And like, I would be at y'all practices anyway. So I'll be practicing with y'all. Like after we practice JV, if y'all need a man, I'm out there running with y'all anyways.
Right.
So, I moved up with y'all. And then if y'all ain't lose the first game of the playoffs, I might've been able to get some run at least.
Was that your freshman year or your sophomore year? My
freshman year. Y'all lost my first game to Jefferson. Y'all was up like 20 at halftime and can't. I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
I was in the thing watching the game, like, bro, like, anyways. But so I was just kind of trying to focus on basketball my first year, and then I was like, I'll eventually go out for football. So my freshman year, in Florida we got spring football, whatever. So I'm out there going to practice, but at the same time I'm doing AAU basketball. And this is my first time doing AAU. You know what I'm saying? Like after the JV games, coaches are like, oh, we want you to sign up for this AAU team, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So I'm out there doing spring football at the same time. I tell the coach, like, yo, I got AAU basketball every once in a while. I'm gonna miss a practice or two. So I miss a practice here and there. But like when I'm out there, I'm out there doing my thing, you know what I'm saying? Catch a pass, receiver. At the same time, receiver group was kind of deep, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll get in there for 2 or 3 plays, and then somebody like, yo, coach told me to get you. Like, probably lying. Like, they just want to get field to try to show what they can do. So, and the coach would keep telling me, like, just go out there, act like you grabbing a rebound. Just go out there and just, use your size. So I'm out there doing all right, whatever. Yeah. And then, like, the day before the spring game, I go to get my jersey, and he's like, oh, you missed too many practices. You can't play. So after that, I was like, all right, well, I tried. You didn't want me, so I just focus on basketball.
So you were done. So after that, you didn't even attempt to go back to the football field?
Nah, no.
Okay. So you focus solely on basketball. All right. And then, so talk about your student athlete experience now at the high school level. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a little bit older. Like you said, you're driving or probably had a car by the time you sophomore, junior year, girls and all that stuff. Like just kind of talk about, from the prep school where you said teachers were, on it, this and that. Let's talk about that same kind of energy as far as at Tampa Tech.
Yeah, so it was gravy because, like I said, like our household was grades first. You know what I'm saying? So when I got to high school, when I got to Tech high school, it was pretty much straight A's. Like some of the stuff that I was learning in high school, I did it in middle school already. Like we took Spanish in middle school, so when I was taking Spanish, like this is like easy. Like I would have to listen to the teacher. I already know what the answers are to the test or whatever.
Yeah.
So academic wise, it was easy. I remember going to, like we would get out of school, we do study hall for like an hour. It's like I ain't got no homework, bro. Like my homework's already done. Like I'm doing my homework in class while the teacher's still teaching the lesson because the school just it was easy the first 2 years. Toward the end, it got a little bit more challenging, and got in AP classes and stuff like that, and it was a little bit more challenging. But it was for the most part a breeze, pretty much straight A's, no real challenges. Like the only challenge I probably had was when they put me in AP classes that I didn't want to be in, and I basically purposely failed. You know what I mean? Like wasn't taking it seriously. Last person to come in, first person out, head down, and they wouldn't let me get out of the class unless your parents signed you out. Like wrote a letter saying I don't want my child in this class. I knew our parents were going to do that, so I was like, I gotta get a bad grade, and then they'll kick me out, and then I can get to the class that I want to be in. But no major challenges. I remember you know what I'm saying, coach would be like, yo, we need a progress reports, because we had a couple players had issues with their grades. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna issue progress reports. All of our students, or all of our athletes, all of our players, every week or 2 weeks, I'll have your teacher tell me what your current grades are. My straight A's all the time, bro. I'm not even worried about it. If your grades was low, you had to run or whatever, he gonna come talk to your teacher. But for me, it was straight through. So the student athlete part of it, being, at the public school was pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? The private school was a challenge, bro. I even remember being at, and that's not to go back, but like a crazy part about the whole, award ceremony and this and recognition, stuff like that. I remember being at one of our games in middle school, right? Private school. So, our parents couldn't make the game. They still had to work or whatever. Like I was literally probably the last one left. Like we might've been there for like the girls team had a game or volleyball or something. But like I'm in the stands waiting for the team to go back to the school. So, our parents come pick us up. And like, I'm like, let me just do my homework while I'm here waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like the homework ain't gonna wait. Like, why would I wait till I get home to do the homework? Like I'm gonna be tired, it's late, whatever. So let me just knock it out here. And the coach kind of shouted me out, like recognized that, like, man, I can't believe you're here doing your work. Like that's commendable. Like props to you. But then come award ceremony time, like nothing. You know what I mean? It was like, But that's, you know what I'm saying? That's something else. But yeah, I mean, the student athlete part in high school it wasn't a major challenge. It was, you know what I'm saying? The work was the work. You still had to do it. And I still learned. I mean, I'm not saying that I didn't learn anything. Right. But it wasn't as hard as it was at the private school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask, like, I think you may have already touched on it. I wanted to ask you, what was like your favorite part, like the best part of being a student athlete, whether it was the middle school or the high school or beyond?
I would just, I mean, like I said, the competition, the competition shutting people up. Like I like to prove people wrong. You know what I mean? Like that's just me, whether it's sports, a debate, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, different conversation, what type of music or which, this, that, whatever. Like me personally, I like to prove people wrong, especially when it got something to do that I can physically control. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember some games, where crowds yelling, screaming, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And, whether they're rooting for you or rooting against you, you know what I'm saying? And just going out there and performing, you know what I'm saying? Giving it your best and trying to win the game, you know what I mean? So it's just, it's just the competition really is it for me.
Competition was the best
trying
part.
to win. Yeah, trying to win, yeah.
And throughout your student athlete, journey, did you get like a job? Like, were you working or was it just I'm a student, I play sports and that was it? Or did you started working at any point in time? And then talk about some of, did it add any challenges or limitations, or how was that if you did work?
Yeah, no, I definitely worked 14, bro. As soon as I could start
14?
working, you helped me get a job at BK. The manager was about to quit. He was like, I don't care who I hire. So he hired me 14 and I started working at Burger King like the first week of high school. So all throughout high school, I worked, whether it was Burger King, and then I ended up getting a job at Busch Gardens. Everybody from Tampa probably worked at Busch Gardens. And then I worked at Finish Line. I worked at Demo in the mall. And I had a bunch of just different jobs all throughout. Some of them were just, kind of summer jobs. Busch Gardens mostly a summer job, and then weekends and stuff like that. But it didn't take away from, like, I didn't miss practice or nothing like that because of work. But, time that you could be either resting on the weekends or practicing on the weekends, it took away from, from that time. But at the same time, having extra money in your pocket felt good. You know what I'm saying? So that you kind of give and take. You kind of give and take with both. But yeah, definitely worked during high school.
Okay, so you went through high school. You know what I'm saying? Freshman all the way to senior at Tech. So did you have aspirations to play beyond, you know what I'm saying, Tampa Bay Tech, or was your goal to like, hey, listen, I know I got the brains, so I'm just trying to just enjoy playing sports. I'm gonna play and then I'm gonna take my talents, use my education, or did you really want to play at that next level?
Nah, I definitely wanted to play at the next level, man. I mean, I used to have hoop dreams, bro. Like, I remember, like, bro, like, because I'm looking at you 6'6", and I'm like, I'm going to be 6'6", because he's 6'6", you know what I'm saying? Not knowing that that's how it works. And just thinking you was going to go pro, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, he's going to go pro, and then I can quit my job, and I can spend more time practicing and hoop dreams for real, bro. I'm talking like, we used to have the, teacher tell you to write a paper for school. I find a way to related to sports or related to basketball and stuff like that. So hoop dreams for real, definitely want to play at the next level. Got a little bit of interest, but it just didn't ever really materialize or go anywhere. You know, and it came to the point where it was like, I haven't, I'm not dumb, you know what I'm saying? I can get into college, you know what I'm saying? I offers from UF, Mercer, Nova Southeastern, you know what I'm saying? Plenty of schools wanted me for academics. So it's like, I could pick my school, Florida A&M, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you gotta have it on. Hey. But plenty of opportunities to go to school and go to college. So it was just a thing of using your education and then trying to walk on or get on the team there. But yeah, I had big hoop dreams. I wanted to, definitely wanted to play in college, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, so I kind of want to go a little bit deeper with that. So like you had hoop dream, that was playing ball was something that you want to do and always, enjoy doing. So you knew you had education, like you had big schools, top schools that were like, hey, come here, we'll give you this kind of money. We'll give you this, what was it? Is it Bright Futures or, like scholarships and grants. But you love sports that much. So like, when did you make that transition? Like, man, like, cause you could have went to, I'm sure, junior college, or you went to a 2-year, D2 or NAIA, or you could have went somewhere and played. But when did you make that like transition or that decision to be like, no, I'm going to choose academics first and then try to walk on at whatever school I choose, whether it was Nova, Mercer, FAMU, like I'm trying to walk on that. Cause like I said, you could have played on scholarship, you know what I'm saying, at a school, but you made a decision to say, I'm gonna go academic first and let basketball come along that journey. Kind of speak to that.
When it came to me making the decision, was just me knowing all my life, like I'm not a dummy, like I have a brain, I have an education. I could do more with my brain. And Pops would tell us all the time, like, think about the guy who's paying the athletes. He makes money to them. Think about the people that are sitting front row. They probably make more money than, not all of them, you know what I'm saying? You got LeBron and KD and Steph, they making hella money. So not everybody, but there were some doctors and surgeons and tech guys who were making more than these guys, and they're sitting courtside. You want to be that guy, and then you could only play for so long, but your brain lasts forever, or until you get into super old age. You know what I mean? So I've just known that from the beginning. Like I said, big hoop dreams. You know what I'm saying? I remember getting letters from a few colleges, letter from Rice in Texas, and it just never really materialized into nothing. And I want to say like the last week of school, you know what I'm saying, coach comes like, yo, you and Slim, you know what I'm saying, y'all can go to this little school in Georgia. I can never remember the name of the school.
In Georgia?
It starts in small school in Georgia. I want to say it starts with an F. I know it's not Furman College. It starts with an F. It's in Georgia. He was like, I can get y'all there. And I was like, what programs do they have? Like what? Like I'm not going to a small school just so I can say I played basketball there. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have the academics that I'm looking for as well. So it's like I made that decision in high school. Like I'm not gonna go that route. I'm not gonna just go to some random school to, you know what I'm saying, just to pursue basketball when I can go to the school that has the program that I want to do. I want to do pharmacy. Let me go that route. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So at the end of the day, what college did you choose, and was it the pharmacy route that you choose? And then talk about, did you still follow your thought process of let me go school first and then still try to play ball?
Yeah, so like I said, I chose Florida A&M University, HBCU, Tallahassee, Florida. You know what I'm saying? So I chose them. Like I said, both my older sisters went there. My older sister went to pharmacy school there, so I know they had a pharmacy program. Like I said, I had offers from UF, Mercer in Georgia, Nova Southeastern. There was one more school in like Davie, Florida that had another small private school in like down south in Florida that wanted me to come there. And I was like, no, I'm gonna go to FAM. They got the pharmacy program, and you know what I'm saying,
the top program too, right?
Yeah, top one of the top pharmacy programs in the nation. So I'll go there and I'll try to walk on to play ball when I get there. So
what was that journey trying to walk on? Like, what was that? So when you got the FAM, you're a freshman, got your classes, got the dorm, got the meal plan, everything set. Now it's like, all right, let me see what ball looking like. Let me go talk to, like how did that
Yeah,
go about?
so I went to the coach's office, just kind of went in there off strength and was like, yo, I'm trying to walk on, like, what's up? And he was like, well, we have to, we have to do tryouts because the school makes me do tryouts. It's gonna be like 100 people there. I'm not gonna get a good look to see anybody. What I want you to do is come to these workouts. It was like Tuesday and Thursday, something random. I forget the days, but come to these workouts and then, I could, let you know more. So go to the first workout, did all right. Next workout, did all right, doing all right. And like all the while, other freshmen, what I'm saying, you meet people and stuff, like other dudes, oh, you play ball, and you meet people. I'm going to these little workouts with the coach, what I'm saying? And he was, other people, I would like, if you want to come and see what happens, what I'm saying? And some of them will come, and then after like, either halfway through the workout or maybe at the end of the workout, he'd be like, all right, I seen enough, I thank you for coming out. But he kept me coming.
Yeah.
He invited me to a scrimmage with the full team one time, what I'm saying? Like scrimmaging with the full team, what I'm saying? Everything. So, what I'm saying? Doing my thing. And then one week I went, for workouts, and his son was there, and he was like, oh, he's out of town recruiting. I was like, all right. He was like, well, just come back when he's back next week. Went back the next week, same thing. And then by the time he was finally back, I had like a test or something. And I was like, I can't miss this test. So I'll just catch him on the next one. And then when I found it'd been like a month had passed.
Right.
He was like, it's been a while, just come to the tryouts. But he already told me the tryouts is people there. I'm not gonna really be able to get a good look. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like I was doing good in the workouts and everything. Like I said, he told other people, told me to keep coming, told me to come work out with the real team, what I'm saying, players on the team. And what I'm saying, he was like, just come to the workouts. And crazy enough, when the workouts happened, it was supposed to be on like Saturday. And then I went down there and they was like, oh, they got postponed to Saturday night. And then they got postponed to Sunday. And then like, it just kept getting pushed back. And then like by the time it finally happened, like I wasn't feeling well. I was like sick or something, had a cold or something. I don't know. I just didn't even go. And like, that's when I made like the final decision. Like, I'm just focused on my schoolwork. You know what I mean? Like I'm here to go to college and that's what I'm gonna focus on. And I just thought about it like I was already in the pharmacy program, and it's just like 90% graduation rate, your license exam, 90% pass rate or whatever.
That's right, yeah.
So basically, if you go to this pharmacy program and you finish this pharmacy program, you will become a pharmacist.
Right.
You play ball, ain't no telling what's gonna happen after that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure some players went overseas. I'm sure some players. I remember one dude was in like a 3-point shootout, the NCAA
college,
he won it. I want to say he won it. And I want to say there were a few years where we was in like the playing game, the playing game for the NCAA tournament. But it's just like, how much exposure you're really going to get? What's your odds of making it to your next goal, which is the NBA playing basketball at Florida A&M versus doing pharmacy at Florida A&M? What's going to take you further? So I just made that decision at times. Like, I'm gonna just focus on my school.
So you focus. So sophomore year, junior year, like you didn't even like attempt to go back out there at all. You just said, "Hey, I'm focusing on school. I'll play in the mirrors. I'll play with my friends."
Just playing pickup ball and stuff like that. I even told myself, like, because bro, like when I was in high school, bro, I was solid, bro. Like, they call me flex because I like to lift weights. You know what I'm saying? Kind of swole growing up and stuff like that. And I told myself, like, when I get to college, I'll try to walk out, so I'll link up with some of the football players and start training with them and try to get on the football team. And it just never really came to fruition. I just, once I kind of made the decision to leave basketball alone, I kind of left the football alone too. So
left it alone.
And it was the same kind of mindset. Like, what's the odds of me going pro out of this school versus going professional in the world of pharmacy? So,
right. Now we all know hindsight is 2020. So looking back at your, middle school career and high school career, and then going into college, like, would you do anything differently? And if so, what and why would you do that differently?
I would, starting with middle school, I probably would have before making a final decision to just flat out leave, told them why I'm leaving flat out. Like, the biggest thing was not feeling comfortable. The money thing was a big thing too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just felt weird. It just felt uncomfortable. Like, like I said, like not lying to my friends, but like just making up silly excuses as far as, well, oh, you know, why you didn't get the new T-Max that came out this weekend? Oh, you know, making up like dumb excuse, you know what I'm saying? So
have my size or something like that.
If I were able to, like, looking back at it now, like just going to them like, hey, I don't feel comfortable because for one, I'm the only Black kid here. It just kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. But a big part of it is to finances, whether it's we tell people he's on scholarship, don't, you know, now I don't have to put up this persona like I'm a rich kid. I can be myself and let down, or y'all supplement where if, oh, he needs a decent car, y'all get me a decent car. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needs, you know,
shoes,
parents need a car. Parents need a, you know, more space at the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's affecting his school, or it's affecting his athletic, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's private school. They make up their own rules. They do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so,
right.
you know, I think I would have done that differently at the private school level. So before leaving, just letting them know flat out, like, this is the reason why I'm leaving. I don't feel comfortable in this whole financial thing. It's gonna, like, I can't hide it no more in high school. Like, we're gonna be coming to each other's houses and stuff like that. We're gonna have cars. Like, you can't fake a car, bro. Like, we used to have to get the Old Navy polos. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just wanted to get this expensive Lands End polos that was like $45. Man, mom used to be on that Old Navy Gap, $15. You know what I'm saying? So it was just that. And then for high school, what would I have done differently? Maybe been more aggressive with, you know, shooting the ball, you know what I'm saying? Being more offensive minded versus just kind of doing what the coach tells you. You know what I'm saying? When you think about, you know, our parents being Nigerian, sports is not their number one thing. Their number one thing is academics, and they did a great job of training us in that. And when it came to sports, it was just kind of like, and they would tell us to be more aggressive and shoot and different and things like that. It was just kind of different, you know what I'm saying? So I probably would have been more aggressive and, you know, and scoring and stuff like that, but and being more of a, just being more aggressive, like trying not to be perfect and not thinking too much about what the coach says or somebody gonna be mad at you because you took a shot or nothing like that. Just being more aggressive.
Okay, cool. Now, if you were talking to like a current, you know, middle schooler, high schooler right now who had hoop dreams like you have hoop dreams, you know, and had the education that you had, like, hey, you're smart, you can become a medical doctor one day or engineer, but really, really love sports and like, man, like, you know, I want to see where it goes. Because I always say this to young athletes, you know, it's like, you know, school ain't going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, school will take your money whenever, you know, whether you want to pay it out of cash or take student loans. So I always say, you know, definitely take that chance, you know, if you have opportunity to, whether it's go pro or play at a certain team or for something that, you know, but definitely don't neglect your education because that's very important. But if you're just talking to like a middle school or high school and just kind of want to give them some advice or some feedback, like, hey, what would you tell them today if they have hoop dreams like you, basketball, football, baseball, it doesn't matter.
So if they got hoop dreams and they so hoop dreams and you said they also got the education.
Like they're smart, like they're above average. Like, you know, like some people are average, but they're a little bit above average. Like if they apply stuff more, they can excel beyond the limits.
I mean, I would just say, just put the work in, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, work on your game, be confident. Confidence is a big thing in sports. And just put the work in, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't slack, don't cheat, you know what I'm saying? You know, iron sky do not lie, you know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to take shortcuts, you eventually get exposed.
Yeah.
So just, you know, put the work in on the weekends in the summer. You know, be confident, you know, be aggressive and believe in yourself and don't take no for an answer. Just keep working, keep grinding.
Right. And what would you tell the high school athlete who's considering junior college versus a 4-year? I know you didn't go to a junior college, but just from your experience, from friends or, you know, just reading or just seeing, you know, players who went this or went to a prep, what they call that school that's before JUCO or before college? Was it prep? Is it prep school? Yeah,
prep school probably.
Yeah, like prep school or JUCO or 4-year school. Like, what would be your take or your advice to them if they're like considering, like, let me go to the prep school to get better or get my grades up, or go to JUCO to get, I say, better athletically?
I would say go. I would say go, because if you know that's what you want to do and that's what's going to make you happy in life, then go and try it and pursue it. I had a homeboy who was supposed to go to Cincinnati for football, but they wanted him to do JUCO. Grades wasn't all the way there. They wanted to go to JUCO and then transfer the following year. But I think something happened with the coach getting a new job somewhere else, and then things kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
Or he was supposed to go, but when the coach left, they wanted to go to JUCO first, something like that. I forget the exact story, but I would say go. There's plenty of stories of people who started at small schools and transferred. Steph Curry, small school. His brother Seth, even after Steph went pro, basically, his brother still was at a small school before he finally transferred to Duke. So I would say go and show out, ball out, and put them on notice. So let them know, like, okay, he's for real, he's the real deal. Yeah. So we need to, one of these big schools will come get you. Plenty of stories of people who, either made it from small schools or started at small schools and transferred bigger because they, were just underlooked while they was in high school.
Right. Okay. And so what are you doing now? So like you, so I'm thinking, well, I know you finished pharmacy school, so you're a pharmacist. Like, what do you do now as far as, do you still hoop? Do you still play ball, or you just strictly just work, just work out and stay?
Yeah, so I finished pharmacy school in 2012 and been working as a pharmacist ever since then. I was hooping probably like 2-3 times a week just to stay active and stay in shape, and stuff like that. And then since the pandemic, I haven't really been able to get out there, just kind of work out, by myself, backyard or something like that, around the house. But yeah, it's just, LA Fitness or, rec league, or not even rec leagues, but just pick up at the rec, pick up outdoors, a little park by your house or something like that, just to kind of stick with it and stuff like that. And you run into some good competition. You go to, LA Fitness, you play against some dudes who played in college or played overseas. Yeah. And you get some good competition through good runs. So just right now just working, and once things clear up a little bit more, get back out there, get back on the court.
You still got it though, or like lost a step? Can you set it up and do a little something up there? Or
I still throw it down. Okay. Yeah, I definitely still throw it down. You know what I'm saying? I can still get up there, but
All right, cool. And is there anything that you want to like share, talk about that you're doing that you want to tell people who are watching about, something you're doing, or something that you wanted to share or say that we didn't get to talk about, or a topic or a question that you wanted to answer? This is, open floor, whatever you want to say, what you want to talk about, it's open.
Like I said, just, confidence is key when it comes to sports. You got to believe in yourself. It's crazy as it is, the high school levels and stuff like that. You kind of have to, not be a ball hog, but you have to be noticeable. You know what I'm saying? Like, the role players are not always going to get, the looks or anything like that. So I'm not saying go out there and be selfish and take 100 shots just for the sake of it, but definitely be confident in your abilities and put the work in, and make sure that you give it your all. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't make it to the next level, that's where it ends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've played all the pickup games. There's no locker room talk. It's different from locker rooms, different from jerseys, referees, crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, besides the people that's standing there waiting to get back on the court, there's no, what I'm saying? It's not the same as when you was in, high school and stuff like that. So, that would be it as far as like the student athletes. Focus on your schoolwork, because I've seen supreme athletes go nowhere because they didn't have the grades. If you're at one of those schools where they basically, high schools, paying people to do your homework and paying people to take your SATs and stuff like that, if you can get by, cool. You have to be, the 1%. But if you the 10%, make sure your grades is on point, because if you don't have the grades, they're not going to let you into school. And then, me, I'm big on investing in finance and stuff like that. So once you're able to start investing, please start investing in the stock market, because that's where a lot of these people are getting rich. Do the basic S&P 500, whether it's $10, $20, whatever you can put it in there. By the time, 10, 20 years from now, it'll be worth thousands, hundred thousands of dollars. So financial literacy, investing in yourself or in your family and your kids, whatever it may be, make sure you do that.
Yeah, thank you, man, for bringing that life piece into it. Because this is SKaL, sports, knowledge, and life. So I definitely want to talk about sports, talk about knowledge, acquiring knowledge, because we know knowledge is power, right? And right. I'm not for trying to keep knowledge that I have to myself. I'm gonna share. So if you have knowledge, why not share with your brother, with your sister, so that they can also apply it and better themselves. So thank you for sharing that tidbit about stock market. You get me into it too. Like I try to throw a little bit that I can. I know you in there. Yeah. You're almost like, I'm gonna say day trader. You was for a while, but you're kind of
didn't work out. It didn't work out, so I just switch up the strategy.
Me, I put it in there. I forget about it. I don't even. It's like I spent it. Like if I put $100 here, okay, I spent $100. I'm not even thinking about it. It's spent. But yeah, definitely. And one question I wanted to ask you, and kind of going back. Sorry about that, but so when you was at FAMU and you made that decision, like the coach. The son or assistant coach didn't let you play because the head coach was out recruiting, so he said come back next week. You didn't come back, and then you finally made that decision to like, all right, you know what? Like you said, the chance of me succeeding with school is a lot greater than me making it to the NBA or overseas or whatever or what have you. So like, did you have any because being a student athlete, like a lot of people you put athlete before student. I don't know if you did or you did it, but like. Did you lose anything of your identity of because you were always since you remember since middle school, high school, you were always playing sports and going to school, but now you're like, I'm just doing school. Like, do you have any kind of I don't say depression, but any kind of thing that man, hey, I'm not playing. There's no more practice, no more film study, no more this, no that. It's just school. Unless I play pickup with my friends, but it's different when you have, you have coach on you and you're going through plays and you're looking at scouting reports. It's different. It's like a family, you know what I'm saying? So did you have anything at any of that nature while you was at FAMU after you made that decision, like a month or two or that rest of that year, or did it kind of just is what it is?
No, it just kind of, it is what it is, I think going into it, you kind of prepping yourself for it because it's like, all right, I in high school, I decided, all right, I'm going to focus on school, but I'm going to try to walk on and get on the team. And as I was doing well, I was like, all right, I might got a chance, you know what I'm saying? And I think I was already kind of prepped for it. And then even, once everything kind of fell apart with meeting up with the coaches and the workouts and stuff like that, it was still, pick up, on the outside courts or whatever. And then, every once in a while we would meet up, let's meet up at the gym, let's hoop, whatever. And then just going to the gym just to work out, after class, you know what I'm saying? They had just built a new gym for all the students, you know what I'm saying? So I would just go in there, work out, lift, run, and then, you know what I'm saying, you get your workout that way. So it was still some type of physical activity. Like you said, it wasn't the same as, being in the locker room and, you know what I'm saying, being with your guys and talking with the coaches and stuff like that. But, you know what I'm saying, you find different ways.
You kind of created your own space where you still were playing and still acting. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. So anything else? You want to shout out anything? You want to let people know or you good? I know you really on social media.
Unless you got any questions for me, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's my kind of high school to or middle school through high school kind of story as far as sports. And then that's for the most part my story when it comes to sports. So nothing really crazy to add, nothing like that.
All right, cool. And I'm trying to have you on again because we didn't go, into the nitty gritty or talk about stocks. So we want to learn more about stocks or pharmacy or something like that. So we'll definitely have you back on, talk a little bit more. But thank you for your time, man. You were my first one. Thank you for your time. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate for having
really
me, man.
Appreciate it.
Like I said, good luck with everything. You know what I'm saying? Wish you the best. Hope it grows, massively. And you know what I'm saying?
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Just good luck with everything, bro. Thanks for
having me.
Appreciate
it, man. Say it again?
I said, thanks for having me.
Oh, man. Hey, you already know, man. It was my pleasure, man. Thank you for your time and for being vulnerable and open up and sharing about, your past and, thinking about it again. So definitely appreciate it. And like I said, you'll be back again sometime soon and we'll, talk a little bit more about this or more in depth or, a specific topic and just kind of focus on that. But yeah, thanks for your time, man. Love you, bro.
All right. Love you too, bro. Be easy.
All right, man. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in to SKaL, Sports, Knowledge, and Life, a space where we empower student athletes. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe.